Most UFO stories start off the same way. Somebody sees something they can't explain, they tell their story, and then nothing. Life goes on. The government says it was an ET thing, and the rest of us move on. These three cases didn't end that way. What I got in front of me tonight are three documented cases, not campfire stories, not secondhand rumors, medical records, military testimony, physical evidence that burned through metal and skin. And in every single one of these cases, the government showed up and the witnesses paid the price. The Cash-Landrum Incident, December 29th, 1980, Dayton, Texas. It's the night after Christmas, and Betty Cash and her friend Vicki Landrum and Vicki's 7-year-old grandson Colby are out driving through the woods, East Texas. No big plans, just a quiet drive home. Then they see it. A massive diamond-shaped craft hovering low over the road, shooting flames downward like it was struggling to stay airborne. The heat coming out of it was intense enough that when Betty steps out of the car to get a better look, she can't touch the door handle to get back in. The metal, too hot. She uses her jacket to open it. When they finally get home, all three of them are sick. Nausea, vomiting, blistered skin, hair falling out in clumps. Betty is hospitalized multiple times. She develops tumors, never fully recovers. Here's where it gets interesting. Following that craft in the sky, 23 military Chinook helicopters. Betty Cash sued the United States government. Government officials' response: those helicopters don't exist. The craft doesn't exist. We have no record of any of this. Betty Cash died in 1998 on the 18th anniversary of the encounter to the day. Her medical records exist. The damage to her body was real. And those helicopters were seen by multiple independent witnesses across the area that same night. The Kecksburg UFO crash, December 9th, 1965, Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. 15 years before the Cash-Landrum crash, something falls out of the sky over Ontario, Canada, and cuts a fireball path all the way across the eastern United States. Witnesses from 6 states watched it streak across the sky. It comes down in the woods just outside of a small town called Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Now, local residents get there first, and what they describe isn't a meteor, isn't space debris. It's an acorn-shaped metallic object about the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, half buried in the earth, and along the base of it, strange embossed markings. Not English, not any known language. Then the military arrives. State police, army personnel, they cordon off the woods. Locals are pushed back. A flatbed truck rolls in with a tarp-covered load. And just like that, it's gone. The official story, a meteor. Nothing to see here. But here's what doesn't add up. NASA spent decades refusing to release any documents related to Kecksburg. It took a lawsuit from Sci-Fi Channel in 2003 to force even a partial record search. And when NASA finally looked, they reopened the files and reported them missing. The witnesses that night described the same thing independently. Same acorn shape, same strange writing, same military response. Kecksburg is 40 miles from Pittsburgh, 40 miles from the Appalachian foothills. Whatever landed in those woods, somebody went to a lot of trouble to make sure you never find out. The Flatwoods Monster encounter, September 12th, 1952. Flatwoods, West Virginia. This one is close to home for this channel because this one happened right in the heart of Appalachia. September 12th, 1952, a group of boys in Flatwoods, West Virginia, watch a bright object streak across the sky and come down on a local hilltop. They grab their flashlights and they go investigate. What they find at the top of that hill changes every single one of them. A massive pulsating craft sitting in the field, a thick suffocating mist hanging in the air. And then, moving toward them out of the darkness, something that doesn't make sense. 10 feet tall, a dark spade-shaped head, glowing orange eyes, a body that seemed to float more than walk. They ran. All of them reported the same immediate physical symptoms: burning of the throat, eyes watering, uncontrollable nausea, a smell they described as metallic and burning, like sulfur mixed with some chemical. One of the boys, Eddie May, was bedridden for weeks afterwards. The local sheriff investigating the site found flattened grass, a strange oily residue on the ground, and a lingering smell that couldn't be identified. UFO investigators who arrived later theorized the creature wasn't a living being at all, but a piloted craft, a biological suit, something that landed assisted and left. What's notable here is the pattern: the physical symptoms, the chemical smell, the military grade denial. Flatwoods witnesses spent years being dismissed, laughed at, called liars in their community. But the physical evidence was there, and the consistency across independent witness accounts, including the investigating adults who had no reason to lie. That's what keeps the case alive 70 years later. 3 cases, 3 sets of physical evidence, 3 government denials. And every single one of them, the witnesses paid the price: their health, their credibility, their peace of mind. That pattern isn't coincidence. When the response to an event is coordinated enough to erase military flight records, classified NASA documents, and discredit a 7-year-old boy, that's not a cover story. That's a system working exactly as it's designed. If you had an experience you can't explain, especially in the Appalachia regions, drop it in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And some of the best episodes on this channel start with a comment like yours. Subscribe to Magical Journey Podcast for weekly documented cases where cryptids meet high strangeness. I'll see you on the next one.